Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
If you're a fan of comic books and comic book conventions, Daytona Beach Comic Con needs to be on your list of must-attend events. It's a show that actually focuses on comic books. Imagine that! This year's event is happening on Saturday, September the 6th, and Sunday, September the 7th. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. If you find yourself in the Orlando area, and let's be honest, doesn't everyone come to Orlando for the House of Mouse? Head over to Coliseum of Comics to get your comic book fix. Be sure to check out their location on East Colonial Drive, where they carry a wide selection of independent comics, including Silverline books. Stop by and don't forget to tell them Silverline sent you. Hey, if you're an independent comic creator looking to get your comic printed, look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our comics and do a fantastic job. They can even print special edition covers. When you reach out to them, be sure to tell them Silverline sent you. Looking for a bold way to boost your business? Advertise with Silverline Comics, reaching readers across the U.S. and around the world. Affordable rates, passionate fans, and national and international exposure, all packed inside thrilling, action-packed comics. All ads must be PG-13, perfect for reaching all ages. Spots are limited. Grab your ad space today and become part of the adventure. Silverline Comics, where adventure lives and your brand thrives. Email us at silverlinepublishingllc@gmail.com for more information. And make mine Silverline.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hola! Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
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 How is everybody this fine Wednesday night? Yeah. Sleepy?
Tired.
Looks so
Yeah, very
blurry.
tired. Yeah.
so blurry. I don't know why my camera looks so blurry. But anyway, tonight we have with us the wonderful Martin Martonen. Want to introduce yourself?
Oh, here, yeah.
I finally learned how to mirror my camera, so I'm always going the right direction now.
Well, but you were pointing off screen the other way, so.
No,
Yeah, to us, it looks like you're going the other way.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
really?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're in the top.
Since
You're in the
you're
top
mirroring-
right.
Since you're mirroring, you switched it. Yeah.
Oh, well, heck.
So you're pointing that way for you, but it looks that way for us. Now you got
There
it.
you go. Yeah.
There we go. Hey, how's it going? I'm Martin Martonen.
Yes.
I am the intrepid colorist of the Wolf Hunter comic by Silverline. So this is issue number 2. Please, please, please go hunt this book. And it's got my beautiful colors inside and on the covers. There's a whole 3 different variants of the cover of issue number 2. I colored them all, and I also did the book number 1 as well. So that was my contribution to the Silverline world. And hopefully I can color some more. And take it away, Cassisi.
I'm Cassisi Harris, writer at Silverline. Penned the issue, short little story about Trumps in the Christmas issue, and then have a project coming up, which hopefully soon the folks will get to see. Silverline team up with Tempest and Miss Fury and Sigma and Good Villain. Fun
Do
story.
we know who's drawing it?
It's already drawn. The first issue is already drawn and colored.
Cool.
And, yeah, they're working on the second now, so we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see.
Very good.
Rob.
By process of elimination, that leaves me. I'm Rob Davis, the venerable artist of probably 37, 38 years in the industry. It started out as a letterer, became an inker, then a penciler, and I've stuck a finger into different portions of the history line, all the way from Merlin to Captain Kirk, and I've drawn all kinds of stuff all in between. And for Twilight Grimm for Silverline Comics, and a secret project that we've been working on for a while. I'm waiting. I finished penciling, and Barb inked the first issue. It's completed, and I'm just now awaiting the script for number 2. Apparently, it just went into the hands of Roland. So
Now you guys
hopefully
gotta
see it
tease
soon
it.
after.
You got to tease
Okay.
it for us. Remember, you guys said you would
Yeah.
give us little nuggets. Little nuggets.
I don't drink wine.
I don't know what that is. Okay. Okay.
Coffee, however, yes.
Okay.
Those who know.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't drink wine. Okay. Okay.
I
I'm
don't
Barb.
drink. You got to
I'm
say
Barb
it right.
Kilber.
I don't drink wine. Okay.
I am Barb Kelberg, been nicknamed the Empress of Inks, inker of 36, 37 years. Recently colorist as well, creator of Divinity, and CFO of Silverline Comics, and your hostess for tonight. Tonight, we are going to just scratch the barest surface. Yes, Divinity there. We are going to scratch the bare surface of heroes and villains that were inspired by insects or bugs. And I mean, oh my God, I spent like 3 days just crawling. There were so many. I could have done a week's worth of podcasts on them all. So, but I tried to be fair. I tried to pick a wide variety from a wide variety of companies. Oh, excuse me. I have the grandkids. We're on like day 10 of having the grandkids. And I am wiped out.
Nothing like little ones to wear you out.
I know. So I try to be fair to everybody and not focus too much on one single company. And they're more or less in alphabetical order. So if you don't see somebody pop up right away, say, well, I'm going to start with Ant-Man. Oh yeah, the Wasp. Well, that's a W, so she'll be there.
It's a W. It's toward the end.
Yeah. First of all, let's ask the main question. Why do you think it's so popular to come up with characters based on bugs and insects?
Yeah, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
I was going to say
I tend to talk too much at these. Go ahead.
No. The potential for power sets is so great when you talk about an insect. They're already fascinating just being the small little things they are. And so when you couple that with like a human being that strong, even if you just take it and scale the strength, it's immediate. Or spider webs, being able to hurl that, or the mandibles of certain insects, you can just easily plop them over into the human universe and you would be very, very special. And it's easy, right? Because you can see what they can do. So I think it's just easy material to make an awesome thing. So right away, I would see folks going for it.
For villains, I think it's a gimme to pick the ugly bugs. Oh,
grotesque
spiders. Yeah. I mean, even like Spider-Man is nice and cute and everything like that, but you can make these some really
well, he runs against type too, for that matter. I think that was the whole idea with Spider-Man, is that he was flipping the script. When I was, a spider would be an evil character.
When I was researching this, you would not believe how many of these insect characters all have the same name. There are like 10 the flies or tarantulas. They're endless.
Yeah. So my thought on the reason why bugs work is because they're intriguing to look at right away, and the second you put them into a comic space, you have a fascinating thing to look at, right? And you can position it in all sorts of different angles and all sorts of different things. And like Cassisi said, you can just derive the power set from the animal into the human, and you already got something that you can play off of for, well, this either is part of their how they work. So like I came up with a character that was based off of a beetle, and one of the things that happens with this beetle is when it's running, it goes blind at a certain speed, right? So you can incorporate that into the character, right? And you'll instantly have something that's interesting to play with, right? So there's all these very interesting things you can play with, and then you can also have the countermeasures that you can apply to, they have their power set, but then what's the opposite? Well, what stops them, or what is their weakness? Or what is the thing that attacks them? And then you can have, you can play it off really, really quickly. It's a very quick way to get really fascinating characters fast.
And the stories come fast because the villains come fast. Like, who is the natural villain of a moth, right? Like, you can go, oh, well, maybe we should have a dragonfly, and he's just the killer, and they're known to being, it's just easy to come up with storylines really quick. Villains,
so like the dung beetle would be after piles of poo,
or
he shoots them or throws them, or
they would think it smells great, and everybody else is like, what?
Maybe the dung beetle's a garbage man, right?
There you go. He's a plumber.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah,
plumber by day, dung beetle by night.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, we're going to start out with something really obvious, and which is, familiar to most people, and that would be Ant-Man. And I know, everybody's pretty familiar with Ant-Man, but some of his powers are kind of fascinating. Not only does he have, ants have a huge amount of strength, like greater than their body mass, right?
Oh yeah.
Which he first originally started out as Hank Pym and then became Scott Lang. He took over, many years later, but there has been 2 Ant-Mans as far as I'm aware. So, and he can shrink, he can grow, and he gains, I've got notes here. He gains proportional strength, agility, and toughness compared to his size. And he can communicate with ants, but apparently not any other insects, like a termite.
I thought he could. Okay, flying ants. There's flying ants. He can communicate with flying ants for sure. So, and then I guess
yes, he can.
Yeah.
So. And one of his most fascinating abilities is that he can shrink to submicroscopic size, which allows him to enter a variety of subatomic universes. So that opens up like a whole different set of storylines that you could go with.
But then he also has the inverse ability to become Giant Man as well, right? So
yeah, but he can't hold that shape for very long, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I think one of the main thing about ants is that they are so strong. They can carry something like 10 times their own body weight or more.
100 times, I think, in some cases.
100 times their own body weight?
I think some of them are capable of that. Yeah, I'd have to look it up. I may be misremembering, which is, quite possible.
The grandkids
it's multiples.
The grandkids and I were outside the other day, and there was an ant going across the sidewalk, and of course that they were fascinated because it was carrying a box elder bug, which is like 10 times it's the size of the ant, and it's just walking along with this dead box elder bug on its back. So
there's an ant. I every time people bring up ants, I always think of this one that will go to another ant colony, and they will kill the queen, rub the pheromones on their ants so that all the ants of that colony serve those ants.
That would be an interesting story.
Isn't that insane?
Savage.
That's insane.
Savage storyline.
Like, how did they
Okay.
even think of that? How did they
So-
think of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I just looked it up. The ants can carry 30 to 50 times their weight, and the apparently 10 and 50 times their body weight, and they can withstand forces of more than 3,000 times their weight.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that-
It's so easy. Point that over in the human universe.
leafcutter ant soldiers can even carry up to 200 times their weight
Oh wow! There you go.
due to the combination of factors, including their strong exoskeletons, powerful muscles, and efficient body structure.
That's crazy.
Right. So
ants
there
are incredible creatures.
Right. So there you go. You've got a built-in power set that's available immediately in your all it
And it's
takes
immediately
is now
recognizable. Everybody knows what an ant is, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, their
This
ants are
one-
on every continent except for Antarctica,
Yeah.
which is funny. Antarctica has
Right.
no ants.
Har 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 har. This one was just
Oh my
stood out to me. Yeah, barfly.
Barfly.
Kind of gross.
Yeah,
That's
this
kind of
is-
gross.
That's great.
This is a
I wish
superhero series
Damn, I
by
wish I thought of that.
Yeah. This is a superhero series by Patton Oswalt, Jordan Bloom, and Scott Hepburn. Yeah,
And is Barfly's buddies Deerfly, Horsefly,
oh god.
Blackfly?
Mhm.
Oh,
Well,
my God.
apparently he hangs out in a bar called the Lower Lair, and it's home to all sorts of supervillains, lowlifes, and scumbags. But only one of them has to puke digestive fluids onto his food to eat. Ugh.
Thank you for
See,
that
again.
imagery.
See again,
Glad
all you
dinner
have to do
was
is
an
read up.
hour ago.
You read up on the character. You read up on the critter, and you have a power set and abilities that you can immediately apply to your character.
Yeah.
You don't even have to think about it.
I could have done without that one.
He's a humanoid mutant fly, and a loser and a lifelong minion who lives to serve his criminal master. But
Crazy.
anyway, yeah,
he's
I mean,
got
it
the-
looks
he-
fun.
Yeah, he's got the anarchy symbol on his jacket
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lesser known one that I found fascinating. And I mean,
From Dark
There-
Horse, but yeah, interesting.
and let me tell you, I had like a dozen different fly characters I could have chosen for, but this one stood out. I'm like, oh, this is the one. I mean, come on, he's a punk rock fly.
Oh Lord.
Well,
And apparently, he comes from a world called Minor Threats. Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
and then there is
Yeah, obvious. Yeah.
the obvious, the Black Widow.
Oh,
She appeared in April of 1964, just for those people out there.
technically not an insect, but yeah.
Yeah, but she's based on. I didn't say we had to be insect
Yeah.
part
How
it's in there.
insect
Yeah.
based
okay.
on. So, anybody want have any impressions of the Black Widow?
You know, I would imagine. I know the writer did what they did, but I would imagine she would have been more of a villain, which is so.
Well,
You know,
she
Man
started
in
as a
Black,
She
villain.
started out as a villain. She was
Okay,
a villain.
that,
in
I would. Yeah, I
Iron
could just
Man.
see that. It's
Yeah.
just villain-esque. You know.
Yeah, she was a villain, and then I guess she became so popular that she then flipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's got these little doohinkies on her wrist called widow's bites. But you know what? To me, a Black Widow, I associate Black Widows with poison.
Yeah, death of the. Yeah.
And I don't know if she's ever used poison or not. I haven't read that
Well,
far back.
isn't the widow's bite a neurotoxin?
No, it's just an electric shock, as far as I'm
Oh,
aware.
I thought it was a neurotoxin. Okay.
I don't know what the original was. The
Anyways, yeah.
original might have been a.
the variations on the Black Widow have been better than others, but
Yeah.
she's a pretty
I
cool
would
character
agree.
overall.
Yeah, I think
agree.
what she grew into was more interesting than the original version of it. She was just a Russian spy, and that was her
An
code
assassin,
name.
yeah. Spy
Yeah,
and assassin.
So
Yeah, and
she was deadly in hence the name Black Widow. But she wasn't a martial artist or any of that stuff. That was put on the character later. She was more of a femme fatale.
Yes, a
espionage.
seductress.
Mhm.
Which is what I would envision when you
Right.
say Black Widow. Yeah, seductress.
Because
Well,
the
I think
Black
that-
Widow spider, once it mates with the male, it kills him.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got what he wanted, quick lay, and did it. Off he goes. Bites his head off.
Yep.
Decapitates.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Bug
Yeah,
Wars.
I saw this recently. This is a very intriguing book. Insane detail. It's just absolutely nuts. I don't know if you've seen the interior pages for this, but this book is just bonkers. So I think what happens is there's these kids that are like mowing their lawn, and something triggers them to get shrunk down to size, and then they end up in this like giant war that's in the middle of their yard.
That's pretty cool.
Well, according
What
to
an
the
interesting
write-up,
concept.
according to the write-up, it's Slade Slaymaker is a kid from Alabama, suddenly lost in a vicious world beyond his imagining, a world of marauding ant armies, spell-casting spider witches, and beetle-riding barbarians, a kingdom of tiny but deadly warriors hidden in his own backyard.
Yeah,
That sounds very cool. That does.
The same world that
great
saw his
concept.
father eaten alive by insects.
Ooh.
Now plunges him into a brutal bug war. That sounds
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I looked at a couple of pages, and it's nuts. It's crazy. So whoever put that book together, they did a lot of research and they did a lot of detail. All the bugs look like, they look like the real thing. So you're like, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And all the characters are like all individual characters. It's yeah. I don't know how, like, there's guys who go out there and they go all out and they do all this crazy amount of detail, and then you're like, that's the expectation that you guys set this bar so high, and you're like, how are you guys going to maintain that? I have no idea. So good luck to them. I hope they do it, but man.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, cancel. This one, yes, this is, I have to admit, this is a bit of self-promotion here.
Mhm.
Oh, did you do this one, Barb?
I did.
Oh.
I did several Green
nice.
Hornets.
Oh, yeah, I see you down there. Okay. Got it.
Yes, it's written by Ron
Oh.
Cordier.
One of our Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That's
Silverliners.
right. Another
And
silver
my buddy
liner.
and pal. Yep.
Art by Sal Valuto and inks by moi. I loved working on the Green Hornet. Well, for one thing, I always thought Kato was hot, but that's a whole other
Yeah.
thing. But this original Green Hornet was created in 1936,
Mm.
and he was created by George W. Trendle and Fran Stryker. And since
Guess who they created first? Before that,
Spirit.
the Lone Ranger.
Oh.
Really?
They also created the Lone Ranger. In fact, I'm going to inject some trivia in here, folks. In fact, the Green Hornet, Brett, I'm blanking on his name, but his secret identity is actually the grand nephew of the Lone Ranger.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
That's why
yes.
you're venerable.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Because of course, I hang around a lot with the Green Hornet writer from the Now Comics run, Ron
That's
Fortier.
weird.
So, but I did know that beforehand. It's an interesting piece of history there. But the thing is, the ownership of the characters has now split. They
really?
are no longer owned by the same people.
Interesting. Yeah.
But they
So
were
Green Hornet-
originally related.
Yeah, so Green Hornet has always been a peculiar character for me because, like,
Green.
I've always heard of him on the fringes of stuff. I've never
I
read
used to
any of his
watch.
books.
Yeah.
I've known of him. I've known he's existed.
Yeah.
And then they did the movie with, was it Jet Li did a,
No,
or is that Black Mask?
no,
I
it
can't
was,
remember.
I think
There was
yeah, Lee
there
did
was-
play Kato, and the one with, is it Seth Rogen? Who was?
Yes, Seth
Yeah,
Rogen.
it
They
was-
made Brett seem like a
horrible.
bumbling fool.
Oh, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
That
Jet
one. I
Li.
didn't
I don't
like
think
it.
it was Jet Li. Yeah.
no.
it's-
Okay,
it's
that was
Brit.
Black
I'm sorry,
Mask.
it's
Oh,
Brit.
it was similar.
It's one of those occasions where they made fun of the character instead of
Yeah, right. Yeah.
staying true to the character.
Yeah. So
Original
yeah.
intent.
So
And he's very much in the mold of
Yeah, it was Jake
Batman
now.
because he's a wealthy young publisher of the Daily Sentinel by day, and by night he dresses up in a long overcoat and has the hornet stings, and he drives this car called the Black Beauty.
would
Yeah,
he be
has
a
gas
variation?
gun and a sting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Would he
has
be a
sting.
variation on the Spirit?
That's what it feels like, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, and the interesting twist on him is that he's a good guy pretending to be a bad guy in order to undermine the underworld characters.
Mm.
Didn't they do a Green
that's why he
Hornet
wears the
TV
mask.
show?
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
one
With
season.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee was
Bruce
Kato,
Lee.
and
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
said at the start. Yeah,
It
still
was it
I
was
thought
done
he
by
was-
the same people who did the Batman TV show,
right.
but it was more serious than
Yeah.
than the Batman TV show.
I did several issues of this, but I picked this particular cover because it also features the Crimson Wasp.
Oh wow.
So we have 2 insects on here.
Okay, very interesting.
Mhm.
Huh.
All
Huh.
right. This is
Oh,
the Insect Queen.
I have never.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a new one on me. I don't know this one at all.
the Insect Queen. So that's DC because she's accosting Supergirl here, eh?
Yeah, she
Yes,
is. Yeah.
and she's got 4 arms.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a
Ooh.
supervillain
I didn't
created
catch
by
that.
Kurt Busiek. How do you pronounce his name? Is that
Yeah, Kurt Busiek. Yeah.
Music.
Busiek.
and
Mm.
Peter Vale,
that's
and
a
is
different guy.
inspired by the Insect Queen identity used by Lana Lang in the Silver Age Superboy comics.
Mm.
She was born and raised among the All Hive, a race of insectoid aliens, and gathered followers around her, and then was sent to Earth to start a new colony. So
Hmm.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
It's
what a
interesting
concept.
that they actually make her smaller arms like very buggish. That's kind of a neat little touch.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. She's got the more muscular arms on top, and then
Yeah.
this small
Smaller arms. are
T-Rex
weaker.
arms.
Yeah, which is kind of makes her like creepy and but unique at the same time.
Yeah, I find her. I don't. Is her stomach kind of pooched out, and she has bugs crawling all
no,
over? her?
I think that's just
Yeah.
the way she's
No,
standing.
no, that's her other arm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Which is in a weird
yeah, it's in a
level.
weird, kind of like in a weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And she has bugs crawling all over at all
Yeah.
times. Great detail. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Is she encased? Oh, yuck! Look at the bugs at the bottom. I didn't notice
Yeah.
that until just now. Is she encasing Supergirl in amber?
That's what it
Something
looks
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know what? Amber is just petrified spit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's
well,
spitting on
amber-
Super.
it depends. Some amber is actually from tree sap.
Tree
but,
sap.
yeah.
Yes, that's true. That's true. You're right.
Hmm.
Well, here's an interesting. The first insect queen was Lana Lang,
Mhm.
Superman's
Superboy.
love interest from his youth in Smallville. But this is an updated version. It's a more modern one, apparently. But I was just doing a Google and was looking at it. That's from 1965, her first appearance.
Well,
So it's that's cool.
we cannot talk about insect characters without Jiminy Cricket. Yes. What do you got?
When you wish upon a star.
Do you want to explain who Jiminy Cricket is, Rob?
Oh, he's a character in Pinocchio, in Disney's Pinocchio. I don't know if he's in the original Pinocchio stories or not, but he's kind of Pinocchio's conscience, or he's kind of the character is who we identify with, who's us in this thing that we're following along with what's happening to Pinocchio. But he sings the song that I just about ruined, "When You Wish Upon a Star," which was the essentially the theme song for, and still is to a certain extent, of the Walt Disney company.
For Disney,
Yeah, because that's it. Because it kind of embodies the whole idea about what Disney was about. But Jiminy Cricket.
He's the conscience of Pinocchio. You know, he was actually invented or created in 1883 for a children's book for Pinocchio, The Adventures of Pinocchio. And Walt Disney adapted him originally in the original Pinocchio book. Apparently, Pinocchio stepped on him and squashed him. But
so he was in there. Okay.
Doesn't surprise.
But I think. But did he have a name? Did he have a name in the original book? Or
no, he did not.
He was just a cricket.
Yeah, he was a minor character. He was a cricket. He got stepped on. But Walt Disney decided to keep him and make him into a major part of the mythos. So,
well, he was kind of he ended up being kind of the like I said, he carries you through the story.
Right, and he's a wisecracking narrator.
More or less, yep.
Okay,
now, this is a weird one.
This is from one of our upcoming books that oh shoot. Help me out here, guys. It was John.
Oh, I had to know what you were searching for.
Yeah.
John Crowther is bringing Rochelle. She's based on a cockroach. He's bringing her over from Antarctic. Rochelle. Yeah, he's bringing her over from Antarctic Press, and along with a few other characters like Zika the mosquito. But this is going to be upcoming for the Silverline line, so that's kind of exciting. But I mean, cockroaches! Oh my God, they just gross me out. I'm not scared of them, but geez, they're just gross.
Why though? Why be? Have you ever asked yourself like why? Why a cockroach?
They're associated with disease and infestation. They're just, and plus they're just creepy.
But why not that reaction for a fly though?
I don't like flies either.
Yeah, some flies.
It's close. Is it close? Okay.
Yeah. Plus, they're just they're just
Swarm and Spider-Man.
Yep, Swarm.
Not one I'm familiar with.
He's
I wanted to name a character that, but it was taken by this character.
Spectacular Spider-Man number 36.
Swarm is a former Nazi scientist. Von Meyer's expertise in cosmic radiation allowed him to mutate a colony of bees, thus becoming a swarm. His body is made completely
of bees. Yeah.
Of bees. Isn't that amazing?
Wow, what a concept.
I wonder if he makes honey.
That would be funny. That would actually be funny. If he sweats honey. He sweats honey, and that would be so funny.
Oh, you went with sweats.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could make it in other ways too. But
he excretes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, lick up that sweat.
Take a honey dump.
That's what it is. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm
Too
sorry.
much
it just-
information.
No.
Yeah.
See how quickly we degenerate here?
Yes,
Degenerate here.
yes.
Ugh,
So
my word.
Go downhill fast.
So then what happens? Wait. So for Swarm, so like his body is made up of the bees. So like if his body dissipates, then because all the bees went flying all over the place, then what? How does he maintain?
I guess smoke would be the best.
Is
best
he a
thing to
corporeal
to
character?
attack him
Like,
with?
A corporeal?
corporeal?
There's probably a distance that they can go, right? They can only go a certain distance and they can maintain their own living structure until they come back. But if they dissipate too far, it's probably
Interesting. Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know
maybe
that
he just
too.
becomes a flying head at some point, you know.
eyeballs.
and now we're now we're overthinking it, and it was just like, this is a cool concept. Go with it.
That's really what it is. But yeah.
I'm gonna let one of you guys do this one.
Hey,
Beetle.
Teen Beetle. Yeah, this is
And Dr. Mantis.
Yep, and
Don't
cool. Yes,
forget.
Dr. Mantis. Yeah.
One of you guys want to take this one? He's a.
Go ahead,
I'll
Mark.
start you off. He's
I know very little about this character.
teenager Blake Northrop.
Yeah.
Who has discovered the powerful transformative secret formula vitamin 2X, but now must stave off the menacing attacks of Dr. Mantis and his cohorts, who seek to capture the secret formula and use its powers to propel them forward.
And isn't he related in some way to the original Blue
Yes.
Beetle?
Yes.
If I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the villain, I think, is even wrapped up in that. Since the original Blue Beetle, the very first Blue Beetle is actually public domain. So, but
Yes,
unfortunately,
that's how we were able to do this.
Yeah, but you can't call him Blue Beetle because the DC copyright trademark on the Blue Beetle that came along later at Charlton Comics. So, but this is based on the original Blue Beetle. So,
Oh, and by the
along
way,
with
I
his
did this
villain.
cover too.
That's why you had such easy access.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. I was just going to throw up the inks, but then I wanted the whole thing. So, yes, Pete Clinton did the pencils for this, and he did a wonderful job.
Yeah, cool story, right? It was
What?
Yeah.
Who did- Oh, he did the cover. He did the cover pencils.
Yeah, the cover pencils, Peter
Okay,
Clinton.
Yeah, and this is definitely an all ages book.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's a
it
lot of
looks
fun.
like a lot of fun. I actually haven't read much of it, but what little I have, it's very all ages.
Oh yeah,
very,
there we go.
very golden to bronze age type storytelling, or Bronze Age. But yeah,
very straightforward
Fun book.
storytelling. Yeah,
A lot
You
of
got-
fun. Go out and get it, guys. It's from Silverline.
yes.
Yep. Yeah, you can go to our
That
crowdfunder. You should be able to get the crowdfunded book and
Yeah, we have a current
anything else
crowdfunder going on.
from
Very
us.
good.
Yeah,
Might as well
Kayla's-
mention that while we're at it. And also, everybody who watches this, especially on YouTube, like and subscribe, please.
Yes.
Commercial over.
So
This character is hilarious.
and
any of
this character is also very current right now, as we're finding him all the time on our dog.
Oh,
Constantly.
Well, yeah, and yes, we're having trouble
The
with
tick,
those as well.
the tick was originally created by cartoonist Ben Edlund in 1986 as a newsletter mascot for the New England comics chain. The character is a parody of American superheroes.
Yep.
And he apparently has no memory of his life before becoming the Tick, and indeed not much memory of anything at all, more likely due to frequent head injuries. And he's known for his nonsensical battle cry, "Spoon!" Yeah, no, seriously.
And they made a TV show of this too.
Yes, cartoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
with-
And he's
was it
surrounded by
Patrick Warburton.
I
The guy who
ask
was
me.
the Elaine's boyfriend from Seinfeld.
I don't know.
Okay.
Audience, do you know? Anybody out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it the 90s? Were this late 90s
Yeah,
or was this
yeah.
2000s or something when this
80s,
came out?
well, the 90s to early 2000s is when the Tick was a cartoon. I
Cartoon
recall.
series, yeah.
Yeah.
2016 to 2019.
Was it
But I
really?
remember when he started.
It had to be.
uh,
It had to be before that.
I was thinking it was earlier, but
It had to be because I wasn't. I hadn't joined the
Oh,
military. when
there was a 1994 TV series.
Okay.
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, that's the first time the comic books started to invade.
Oh, but that's no. 1994 was the cartoon.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The live action version was in the 2016 to 2019.
Did they do a live action?
Yeah, they did a live action one too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, he's very childlike with wonder and everything like that because he has no memory. So, but he's very righteous.
Yeah, I remember when he first started. 1986 was like the first Chicago Comic Con I went to was in 1986. So
Why? Oh,
that's
okay.
yeah. So I learned
Why?
about him then. He was brand new at that point. Very strange character.
But a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole purpose of his being is to make fun of us. I mean, and our jobs,
Yeah,
our
exactly.
creations. So I think that's
So weird. For some reason, I thought Patrick Warburton was the main character for this. I have no idea why. Very odd. Interesting.
Don't ask
All right.
me. Ah,
Yeah, there she is.
Yep, there's the Wasp. Originally, she was Janet Van Dyne, and then she became Hope Van Dyne. Do you guys know what year she first appeared?
1972.
Nope.
I was trying.
I'm going to go 64.
Close.
It's 63.
63.
Oh, I was gonna say. I should have just said it. Darn it.
Created by Stan Lee and Ernie Hart and Jack Kirby.
Well,
First
and was-
appeared in Tales to Astonish, number 44, June
Wow.
of 63.
and then DC has their equivalent too, don't they?
I'm sure they do.
What's her name? I can't remember what her name is. So, anyways,
It's hell getting old, isn't it?
Firefly or something? I don't know.
no, it's almost the exact same character. It's just
Well, you find that in almost every aspect of the Marvel and
Yeah,
DC universe. They have
Yeah.
mirror
there
characters. They
are-
just
yeah,
change
there
the
are
names.
mirror versions sometimes. Yeah.
Right. But I bet you they do not have.
Ah, Space Ghost.
Yeah, I actually
Yes.
think this
Trying to
character is
remember his
hilarious.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
He has
Zorak.
name
name
Zorak.
is-
That's it. Yep.
Mhm.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
Oh,
Space Ghost,
Space Ghost,
the
yeah.
major villain. Yep.
It looks very Alex Toff.
That's because it was designed by Alex Toff.
Yep.
He's
As
a
was Space
Dracorian,
Ghost.
also known as a giant space mantis. Zorak was the leader of an army of space warriors called the Zorathian. He was one of Space Ghost's greatest enemy.
Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely.
He's a green mantis with a beak.
Space Ghost.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. I think he's great. Let me see.
Voiced by, if I recall correctly, the guy from oh, now I'm blanking on it. It's hell getting old.
Let's see.
I don't know. Who was he voiced by? Anybody?
Yeah, it's from the TV show. It was a Laugh-In. He was the narrator that was always with his finger in his ear.
Yeah. I can see
Yeah.
him, but I don't know his name.
I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. It took me a little bit to get to Laugh-In. But yeah,
That's okay.
but
Here
he
we-
was. I believe
a
he
new
was the voice of Space Ghost.
another non-Marvel or non-DC. This is
Is he from The Simpsons? Is that?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
Obviously,
good.
yeah. Yeah,
Very
the
good.
style is
Yes, he
Is-
is Bumblebee Man.
Hmm.
He's a local Latino television star in Springfield, famous for his exaggerated slapstick and often involving oversized props. So, yep, even the Simpsons get into the act on this.
Well, they got the comic book store owner that's kind of a cliche of comic book shop owners. So why not?
Why not? Why not? Okay.
Grotu,
Yeah, he's
King of the
of the
insects.
insect.
Well, this is like literally an insect.
Yeah, that's Kirby. That's Kirby stuff. Yeah, obviously.
Well, actually, Marvel. Grotu
That's-
first appeared
Kirby,
during the
yeah.
Monster era of Marvel Comics, or Atlas Comics, as it was then known,
That's true.
just
Yep.
before the dawn of Marvel's superheroes. He was a giant and intelligent ant, again with the ant, born as the Soviet nuclear tests. Dun, dun, dun.
When
So
everything
on top of everything else, he was a red. He was a commie.
That's right. So this was before Marvel was Marvel. So that's pretty far back. Nothing can stop Grotu. We are doomed, the guy says at the bottom.
And that's Kirby?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't say it was Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
This is Marvel. I mean, Atlas
No.
Comics.
Yeah, but
but
did
Jack
Jack Kirby draw it? I can see the Kirby-esque
zoomed in and-
elements.
Yeah, it looks like it's got some other elements to it too, though.
Well, no, but if you look
zoom
at
into
if you
those
look,
guys in the background, they don't look very Kirby-ish.
well,
depending on who
this
inked
is
it.
before he becomes a superhero guy. So, but
Yeah.
there's elements here that look Kirby-esque in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
So,
it's the inker
like-
that's kind of it's Kirby pencils and somebody else inked him here. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have no idea.
yeah,
Huh.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah, it says Jack Kirby, Bill Everett, Stan Lee.
Bill Everett.
Oh, there you go.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Really?
that's why it has a different feel.
At least, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it says here.
I'm seeing Kirby-esque elements that are starting to show up that are going to come.
Maybe
into
this was
play
one of his
later.
early works. I don't know.
Yeah. This
be.
is before before
Be
he
Yeah,
like,
before
late
the
goes
50s,
full blown
probably be
superhero.
mid to late 50s.
It says October
When,
1959, Strange Tales number
Yeah.
73.
Uh,
Huh. Well, okay then. I stand corrected. I'm looking forward here. All right.
Uh-oh.
What is this?
Come on, Kaz.
I don't know who this is.
This is the Insecticons.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, no, not my Insecticons. Right. This is some version that came out in the future that made them look very, very, round and not my Insecticons.
It's
Not
not your
yours.
Insecticons.
No, not mine.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
This had to have been like 90s or 2000s. Like this is not the 80s version of the Insecticons.
Oh, so it's subpar. Is
In
what you're saying?
in my memory, right? This is not the childhood Insecticons that I remember.
Okay.
Spider-Man, Scorpion. Did we pass that already? We didn't talk about Scorpion. We did not.
Well, I think we're not going strictly by alphabet at this point. We're jumping
No,
around a little.
because I got mine messed up. The uncontrollable and insatiable Insecticons are a group of Decepticons, often acting independently of Megatron's wishes, with the ability to clone themselves to form vast destructive swarms.
Yeah, this is not the. I'm looking at
Interesting.
the picture of the 80s Insecticons, which were amazing. This is not that this is bad. Not that this is bad. This is great for what it is.
For what it is.
Not the Insecticons.
It's like my favorite Iron Man costume is nothing like the movie one or the one they have out now. So, yeah.
Huh.
But It's not your grandpa's Iron Man.
Right.
Your
Yeah,
grandpa's
it's not your grandpa's
Insecticon.
Insecticons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know how much you like your whatever.
Transformers.
Transformers, thank you.
I actually started to wear the shirt tonight, but I didn't.
Ooh.
Started to wear the shirt tonight.
This is
wow.
Killer Moth.
DC.
That's right.
Yep.
Drury Walker's the Killer Moth.
Why didn't they give it moth wings?
Well, I have no idea. You're gonna have to ask the artist.
Those are
Wow.
like, those are
Yeah,
definitely not
whoever
moth
created the image for that character. Yeah, and the green and gray stripes on the legs. That's kind of weird.
Yep, he was the original anti-Batman who has a central theme of moths. He's usually depicted as a joke villain. I can see why. But as posed as an actual threat on several occasions. Yeah, those aren't very moth-like wings, are they?
No, not at all. Like that doesn't.
Nope.
All right, this is the one that really gets me.
Mantis.
Well, maybe they were just going for the whole eats the guy's head part, none of the actual.
Yeah.
The thing is, the only mantis, I am not familiar with the mantis of the comic books. I am only familiar with the mantis of the MCU. And she was an airhead. Apparently, I'm wrong.
This one is not. No, she is. Yeah.
Yeah, she was always
She's a butt
behaved
kicker.
in a very assertive manner, according to this, feeling confident in herself and her powers, arrogant, telling the swordsman that he was too weak for her.
Yep.
And she always referred to herself as this one and she instead of I.
I could see that being because mantises are. I could see that arrogance being lumped into what we would think a mantis's personality would be.
Yes.
Like a female queen, like she, she's gonna end up on top anyway, right, of the pecking order because she's gonna kill the male anyway. So
So is this version from Marvel?
Yeah, this is
Yes.
the original version. This is
Yeah, from the
look at the
Avengers.
artwork. This is way back.
Yeah.
She was.
She's
in the
been around
Avengers
for a while.
I mean, what was
Yeah.
her power set? Did she have a power set?
She's very strong.
Martial arts. Martial
Okay.
arts mostly.
That came
basically
later.
a martial arts character.
Yeah, and yeah, I think she had a little bit of mind control, a little bit, but I don't know her that well. Don't
So
know
not
the
like the
character
one
that
in
well.
Guardians of
But
the
I know
Galaxy.
she was always the way she spoke in the comics. She was so arrogant.
Well,
and
like she was raised
condescending,
off Earth.
especially to men.
Yeah, she was taken from Earth and raised off Earth, upbringing in the temple. Apparently, she had
Mhm.
an Eastern philosophy and saw herself as a part of a greater whole. And she was raised to become the Madonna of the creator
The
of
celestial Madonna. Yes.
Yeah.
She and Moondragon were kind of tied up in that.
Dynamica said, "What about the Micronauts? Aren't they bugs?"
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, there's thousands. I could have gone. Oh, I could have gone for a week for this. But we'll bring everybody's favorite bug.
Yeah. I mean, which I'm so shocked that again we were talking about this earlier. Of all the bugs, right? I mean, cockroaches aside, spiders you would think would not, just to be called Spider-Man. I mean, it's different if you're called like Brown Recluse or something like that, but to be called Spider-Man and have like the popularity that you have, it's not connected to the spider part.
There were so many spider-related characters, arachnid and tarantula. There's like 5-6 different tarantulas or tarantellas or whatever. And spider this, spider that, it's very popular theme.
Well, yeah. Well, no, the Spider-Man universe is now starting to become overpopulated with spider characters. You got the Scarlet Spider, you got Gwenpool Spider, you got Bat Spider, you got Dog Spider, you got Spider Pig, you got Spider.
Noir, wasn't it Noir?
Spider Noir,
Spider-Ham.
Spider 2099, yeah, Spider Ham, yeah, there's like, then you got what's the Spider-Man, the
Noir
black character?
Spider-Man? Yeah.
Miles Morales. Yeah.
Miles Morales. Does he even have a spider name? Is he just Miles Morales?
Spider-Man. He's just
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
He's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Like, well, okay, so.
Yeah, in his universe, Peter Parker gets killed and he takes up the mantle.
But then they also have like other. They have like a villain. They have a villain spider that's like purple and yellow. I can't remember his name.
The arachnid.
Yeah.
And there's just dozens,
yeah.
both villains and
the
heroes.
The Spider-Man villain, the Scorpion. So yeah, I mean,
But I bet. But Barb, when you were looking at all those other Spider-esque characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of them, like, I bet most of them kind of leaned more into either the Spider visual or the Spider kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say grotesqueness of a spider.
Not anybody that was spun off of Spider-Man, like Spider-Woman or Gwen Stacy. But yes, you are correct. You know, there was the tarantula, there was a tarantella, there was, you know, the arachnid, there was, I mean, Black Widow's not, but you know, yes, a lot of them were very gross. I mean, and villains because spiders.
It's weird how this one connected so well, and I think it's because you don't think of Spider-Man as a spider. I mean, even spider sense. Like what is that? That, you know, when I think of a spider's abilities, I don't think of spider sense.
Yeah, it's kind of based on the fact that if you spiders build a web and then they go to the edge of the web and wait for something to get caught in the web itself. When something gets caught in the web, it vibrates the web. And
have you ever tried to catch a spider?
Necessarily, it feels the vibrations.
That's a good explanation. I would not have picked that. Yeah,
I catch them all the time.
That's where the spider sense comes from. It comes from a vibration in the universe that he feels. Yeah. It's kind of based on the vibration of the web, feeling a victim, you know, caught in the web. That's how I always saw it anyway. I think I read that somewhere.
I can't stand spiders.
If you ever tried to reach for a daddy long legs, just watch how quickly they run away from you when you try to reach for it. Just
fast, yeah. They're fast.
Yeah,
they know you're coming. They can sense it. So
yeah. Well, I think part of that is also the fact that they have multiple eyes. Many spiders have up to eight or more eyes, pointing all different directions. Can you imagine the what's going on in their head? Seeing
that's like the fly. The fly has multiple eyes.
Has a huge multifaceted eye that allows them to see almost 360 degrees. So they're fascinating creatures. But again, it's the more you know about them, the more fascinating they are. But yeah, ants and spiders seems like are the two biggies.
And bees. Bees are great.
This is Tiny.
Yep.
From Silverline.
And she is tiny, obviously.
like Thumbelina.
Thumbelina, that's right. But she runs across a lot of insect-based people in her travels. Which, and I mean, there's several pages I could have showed you, but we're running short on time here. Yep, we already covered Black Widow. Earlier. But
really
she
quickly,
does. She's very spider-like too, as far as I'm concerned. Apart from her name,
is her little spider
bite thing.
Spider bites.
The stings, the spider stings. Yep.
Anyway, this is another Silverline book called Tiny. It is a graphic novel. It's really fun read. I highly recommend it if you can pick it up. She's a tiny little Thumbelina type character that is running around. Meeting all kinds of interesting people. I have a couple more, and then we're done.
Ugh. Is that grub?
Is it worm an insect?
It's a caterpillar. No, it's a caterpillar.
Is it a caterpillar?
Well, it's called Wicked Worm, so I don't know.
Oh, so he's a worm. Okay. Yeah, he's not a bug.
From the Savage Dragon, Image Comics.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Believe it or not. Is it the look or the physical character? Is it
we're
limited
just talking
to a suit or fighting style? We just went for general inspired by insects. So they could be insect like, they could be mutations of insect, or they could just be inspired by insect and where
Just wear
call
a costume
themselves
like the Black Widow is.
Yeah.
She has no powers
right.
that are associated with spiders. So
Right. Although originally, as we discussed earlier, originally she was a seductress, Black Widow type,
Femme fatale,
seduce
yeah.
men's and kill them. She was as an assassin. That's where she got her name. This is Wicked Worm, and he appears in Savage Dragon and is an homage to Mr. Mime and the arch enemy of Mighty Man.
Yeah.
So, Image Comics. I thought I'd do a little homage to them too.
Homage
So,
to Image.
That's right. And last but not least,
Oh my.
Yes. I know this character. Is that from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
that is correct.
Yeah.
This
I
is
remember seeing that character on the shelf as a kid in Kmart and looking at it and staring at it and staring at it and going,
I don't remember. Who is that?
I don't
this
remember
is
his name.
Baxter Stockman.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a fly. He's a brilliant but mad scientist, often allied with the Shredder and or Krang. And in almost every version, he is depicted as the creator of the Mousers, enemy of the Ninja Turtles, and he's forced into an alternate form, a mutant fly that causes his sanity to erode. Well, it would be too.
Yeah, my mom hated that
Again,
character.
because those multifaceted eyes probably drive him crazy with all the stuff he sees.
Sensory overload, yeah.
That's
It
right.
would be. It would be sensory overload, definitely.
I grabbed this.
And there goes the star of the show.
Oh yes.
Letting us know who's in charge.
Yes, she is. Gosh dang it.
I grabbed this from the kids' bedroom or the grandkids' bedroom next door. So yes, it was on the floor. I'm like, yes, I gotta use that tonight. Prop time. We had photos, some wonderful photos that Rob sent in of real insects that if we had run out of time, we were going to use to try to create
why I threw
some.
up there.
But
So
we'll save those for
Alright.
another show.
So since we're coming up to the top of the hour, do we want to remind people of Kalis?
Yes, please do. Go ahead. Go for it.
So I just posted the link there. If you could pop that up on the screen there, Kaz, that would be wonderful. So so if you were with us last week, Kalis is launching as a funder, fund by comic.com, and it is the best dad comic that you will ever read. It is so cool. It is really, really cool. We had a great conversation last week
Best
with
dad blame comic
with
out there.
Brent. He's a
Who was
great
our
writer.
guest last week?
Yep. He was. So we had a great conversation with him discussing the wonders of this comic. It hits on all levels. It's very current. It is on. This is worth your read, man.
It's very
bang
rich.
for your buck.
It has a depth of story. It's rich. It's a rich reading comic.
Yeah.
book,
You
definitely.
actually feel like you get your money's worth out of this book.
Absolutely.
So it has excellent art, excellent storytelling, has depth. It has space travel, it has government intrigue, it has action, it has all sorts of stuff going on in it. It's a great book. So go check that out.
As with all of our crowdfunders, if you go over there, you can do as an add-on anything that's been previously
That's right.
published.
You can get all the books previously, and
Twilight Grimm. You can get Divinity's early issues. You can get all kinds of stuff that's Silverline associated. So, and there's also original art over there for this crowdfunder, and there goes the boss again. And so it's definitely worth a shot to go over and take a peek at that.
And as
Good
Rob
book.
said earlier, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Please do. It'll really help us out a lot. Like and subscribe, please.
Okay, folks, we are past the top of the hour, so we are going to wrap it up for the week. Next week, who's got next week?
I think I do.
Yeah. What are we
It's-
doing next
is it
week,
another-
Kate?
is it another
what are we
trivia
doing
show?
next week?
We
Let's
are,
see,
we are doing trivia.
Yay!
Okay.
Yay!
And all I'm going to tell you is it's going to be another type of guess the name of the superhero.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. And audience,
Audience will
don't
be
forget, you guys can participate with the chat over there. So you guys can participate in the chat, and
we're going to make
you
it a
guys
little,
throw out your answers, and we
make
will.
it a little fairer.
Yeah.
But
I will be iPhoning it in from Iowa, so I will not be
Cool.
able to run any controls, so don't count on me.
nope.
Okay. All right.
You have to be able to see in this one, though.
Yeah,
I'll
I
try to
can
describe
see.
it, but you have to be able to see.
Oh, you're going to be showing visuals this time around.
We will. Yes.
Tiny
the
little
short
iPhone.
answer.
Okay, that
Yes,
should be
the
good.
short answer.
Okay.
So is it going to be like, okay, I'm going to show you the eyeball, and you got to guess who it is?
I'll tell you. Well,
You
Here's
gotta
their
tune in.
nose. Here's
You
their
gotta
nose.
Come in next week to find out.
Here's the nose drawn by Jim Lee, and you got to guess which.
Which character? And what's the issue number?
exactly. Year, issue, character, and pose. I need the pose.
and then you pick like all these independent comics that nobody's ever read before.
That's everybody's knowledge.
Okay, folks. So next week, you cannot miss it because it's going to be another one of Kaz's awesome trivia contests, which includes the audience. So you
Yes.
guys all participate.
You guys can compete with us, and
So
usually
far,
beat our.
Every
beat us
trivia
to a pulp.
contest we've had so far, you guys have whipped our asses. So
Yeah. Pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
right, as we like to say at the end of each of our shows,
Make
make
Mine
mine
Silverline.
Hi, I'm Greg Horn. Make mine Silverline.